Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
Go for a swim. Take one step back. I dare you. Where are you, Dad?
I'm at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center covering the swimming trials, but of course, we're getting set for the Men's World Curling Championship. I know my priorities, Paul, but I think this heavy plaid shirt was the wrong idea.
No, but you're wearing tonight. A Speedo right underneath that probably, and we just can't see it. I want
on. Right. Maybe to end the show,
I'll jump in. Where people were tuning in from, by the way, like somebody's on the road in Japan watching us. So hello, whatever time it is there.
Hello, yes. Hello, curling fans from Fire and Ice tonight. Call from the pool to the pebbled sheets. Awesome to be talking to you. We've heard you loud and clear that you want the show live. They want it live, Paul. So here we are.
Just don't take a step backwards, and don't let your camera fall off of the lifeguard's chair that you've got it on. Still so much to talk about. We thought we covered it all on Monday night, but there's so much more. And we have another breaking news announcement that people are already guessing what team might be folding. So I love that.
Well, and to that point, Colin, we'll get to that, a jam-packed show. But to that point, you and I were playing the guessing game the other night on Monday night about the St. George announcement. And of course, you know it, Jamie Sinclair and Marie-France LaRouche joining that team. Some thoughts on that?
I think it's an awesome decision. Marie-France LaRouche, of course, was on the world mixed doubles champion, not doubles, mixed team. So she still has a lot of games. She was runner-up in the Scotties. She's a fabulous player. She brings a lot of experience. And Jamie Sinclair, of course, played for the U.S. and represented them at the World Championships. And she still has to sit out a year, so can't play in the Scotties. So that'll bring in, sort of a 5-man rotation through the year. But Marie-France just has a wealth of experience that I think will really help this young team.
I know there are a lot of sports fans, not just curling fans, watching the show. And of course, Paul, I wanted to start by saying Summer McIntosh, the 16-year-old swimming sensation, breaking her own world junior record just minutes ago. So everything is happening. What a talent.
What a phenom. No kidding. And the story you did on the National was just so amazing about Summer and her sister, figure skater Brooke, and the whole family support system. That was a beautiful story. So well done on that. And listen, we're going to be hearing her name for a very long time. It's so young. So what a superstar.
What a superstar. From the superstars of the pool and the skating rink to the superstar who represented Canada skipping at the Women's World Curling Championship. Of course, Carl, you and I had a conversation with Chelsea Carey and what it is like to be a skip at a World Championship wearing the maple leaf. And props to Kerri Einarson, who's joining us tonight on the show. She called me earlier today and said, absolutely, I would talk to Canadian curling fans about that experience.
Yeah, and we wanted her, of course, on Monday, but she was flying back from Sweden, so it'll be good to hear from her. But first, let's take a look at some of the amazing moments from that bronze medal game. Oh, and the twins are there. Nice. How's everybody? How's the fam?
Good.
We're good.
Were you guys
Yeah,
in
we're
Sweden
tired,
too?
but we're good.
Did they go to Sweden?
No, they didn't. But as soon as I got back from Sweden, the next day they curled in their very first bonspiel. So they were pretty excited about that.
How did it go?
How did it go, girls?
We got third.
Nice. Just
Just
like
like
mine. That's so good. Oh, that's awesome. Kerri, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm trying to get caught up on all my sleep that I've missed over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's so nice to be home. And I had a nice welcome banner in my living room when I got home and a bouquet of flowers. So that was nice to see.
Kerri, you can see fans, capital letters, Kerri, they're excited to see you. They're commenting right now. So many Canadians so proud of what you accomplished. What does it mean to know the country supporting you, win, lose, bronze, gold, whatever it is, they're behind you?
Oh, it feels amazing to have everyone's support throughout the week. It was a very grueling week, and we pushed through every single game, and we know it's not gold that we wanted to bring home, but we fought hard for that bronze medal, and it's always tough to come off a hard loss and to come back and play like the way we did. Just shows how much grit we have in this team.
Yeah, amazing. And I think I was saying to you in an email that Brad Gushue at the Olympics last year said playing in the bronze is the toughest game to get to because you have just come off of a hard loss. To play Anna Hasselborg is no gimme either, and you guys were dominant. So how good was it that the magic came together in a week that, as you've said, was often a struggle?
Yeah, like throughout the week, towards the end of the week, we saw our team getting better and better. We had a couple sloppy ends here and there that kind of got us, but going into that bronze medal game, we knew we weren't playing badly. Like even in the semifinal game, literally one bad end, and the skip made a really nice shot. I made a nice come around, and she made an in off. So can't take that away from her. And we were also so close to stealing that end too. So yeah, it was a tough loss, but we chatted about it and we parked it and we came out and we played really well. And to play Anna in a bronze medal game on her home soil is there was a lot of fans cheering for her, that's for sure. But we had our group of Canadians there.
Kerri, talk about the emotional toll of being at a Worlds. This was your third. Of course, let's not talk about that pandemic one, but this was your third. What is the emotional toll, the roller coaster that is? This was your first international across the pond. What's that like? What is that like mentally, physically for you to go through?
Oh, it's a tough 2 weeks, especially being our first overseas and trying to adjust to all the time change and stuff like that. It's exhausting, and we had such a quick turnaround from the Scotties to the Worlds too, and that's not enough time to prepare for that. Because as soon as you're done the Scotties, you come home, you're doing interviews, you're practicing, you're doing everything, getting flights arranged and whatnot. It's a little too tight to be able to flip that switch to Worlds. So yeah, and if we could, it's just always a learning curve, and it's such an honor to represent Canada and wear that maple leaf on our backs, and every chance we get. You definitely don't take it lightly, and we wanted to come out there and perform. And I know myself, I didn't play to my best, but we're trying to figure out the ice, and the ice was good, and some of the rocks were challenging as well, and so my mind never ever shut off.
Yeah, I always say curling is the most humbling game, that no matter how good you get, it can just have this way of beating you back because of the rocks, the ice, the opponents that get to make in-offs and things like that. But what did you guys say when you hugged in the bronze medal? I mean, it must have felt so satisfying in that moment to know you were on the podium.
Yeah, I just gave them all an individual hug, and I was just so proud of the girls. They fought hard, and we gave it our all, and especially Brianne out there. She, holy smokes, she's a sweeping machine. She played unreal, and didn't give her much time to put up her feet. The draw is you were playing back to back constantly. I was maybe getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, so it's just hard.
Oh yeah, and you listen, you're preaching to the choir with Devin and I, because we've always talked about the calendar year of curling, and I'm hoping that's one thing David Murdoch starts to look at, where it's too crowded, whether it's going to the Olympics or from the Scotties to this, and the fact that you couldn't play in mixed doubles either is sort of a shame that our best curlers can't be at all of the. So you're preaching to the choir there.
Yeah.
I think you just have to take the girls with you next time.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, did they heard that? They're like, hey, we wanted to go, right? Next time, you two have to go, but you'll probably
work on getting them their passports.
Yeah, get in the line. Get in the line. So what was the biggest takeaway for next year's year? I know you barely had time to think about it, but as you always try to get that, 2% better, sort of. Any takeaways?
There's some things that I myself need to work on, and learning to park things a little more quickly. And but we're definitely going to be sitting down next week and debriefing the whole week. And there's things that I wish I could take back that I wish I did better. And and like I said, there's a few games that could have went either way. Like in the U.S. game, our second game, she made a 30-foot run back, pick our button off the stone. I'm like, whoa,
whoa, hello, welcome to the world. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So it's a tough event, and it's never easy, and it's getting harder and harder. The European teams and the world teams are. They're good, and they make shots.
Hello. Yeah. They are.
Yeah.
You just have to look at the statistics over the last 20 years. But listen, great that you could join us. We would have loved to have you Monday night, but you were flying a long way, and you probably would have rather spend time with your lovely girls. Congrats, girls, on your bronze. Huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
It was so amazing to be able to get home quick enough to watch the girls and their big smiles just out there and in their element. They did so well, and so proud of them as well.
Yeah. Well, that's perspective too. And you have lots of that. Kerri, great of you to join us.
Yeah. Thank you
Kerri,
so much for having me.
And nice to have the girls.
Care, girls.
And stick around if you want to hear the latest curling gossip. She probably already.
Oh, I do.
All right.
So much
Paul,
great perspective. I mean, they're great champions. They are such great champions, and
and
the worlds are hard.
a couple of things that stick out to me in that interview. Kerri Einarson wins 4 Scotties in a row, and she's talking about improving, finding ways to improve, always getting better. That speaks to the champion she is. But you've always told me about, after you had Zach and Luke, that different perspective. You could come off the ice and your kids were going to love you just the same if you had a gold or a silver or a bronze.
Isn't that the truth? They have your back, and that really helps. She also talked about parking stuff. That was one of the hardest things to learn. And remember reading a book, Golf is Not a Game of Perfect, that one of the sports psychologists that I worked with recommended that I read, because it's the exact same in curling. You have a lot of time in between shots on the golf course, ditto in curling, that your brain can get in the way of yourself, and you have to learn to let that end go. Easier said than done. If it were easy, we'd all be doing that all the time, but that's a process of constantly learning. This team is going to be around for a very long time. So once you master the mental side of it, everything else, they already know how to throw the rock well. But what happens when somebody makes a 30-footer on you, or an in-off at a wrong time that's just kind of cost you the game, and then you've still got to try to find a way to win? You're not going to win them all. That's just the bottom line. And as you mentioned, Chelsea spoke so eloquently about, the stuff Kerri faced. We didn't go there in this interview. People are probably wondering, like, well, what about the big elephant in the room? And we didn't want that to be about this. We wanted to honor what she did at the World Championships.
Well said, Paul. Absolutely. She is a champion. She is a Canadian champion, and she wore the maple leaf proudly. Another bronze medal for Kerri Einarson. It's hot in this pool, Paul. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. And now we've got some hot breaking news, hot off the press, as we get ready for another team announcement exclusively here on That Curling Show. Let's bring them both in. Let's stop the waiting and bring them in right now, because I'm fired up about this
marriage coming.
Ta-da! I'm fired up about this because I think it has something to do with my home province. Mike, Colton, spill the beans, share the news.
You want to go first, Colton?
You go for it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm gonna go after trying to be the home province team again. Going to Saskatchewan. Yeah, very fortunate that to have this opportunity to join Colton and the Marsh brothers. I'm excited. So
awesome.
I'm skipping, and Colton's he's really gung ho to step down, play third, and I think he even wants to scrub rocks and maybe not even be in the house. He's just I'm excited to have a guy like that's so committed to being the best he can. Isn't
that awesome? Wow. And God knows, Colton, we missed your sweeping. So that's a good thing. Tell us how this came to be. How did you guys, I'm sure you approached Mike, but, tell us about the background.
Yeah. I mean, the three of us kind of had a meeting and just, chatted, debriefed the season. Obviously didn't go the way we wanted to at the end. Had a poor provincial and kind of said, the back half of our season, we started off really well after the high of last year, and, it just things weren't clicking. So we thought, what we might need to change at some point. We went through a bunch of options. There was probably 4 or 5 viable options that we were looking at. Obviously keeping Catlin was one of them as well. And, we all came together about 5 or 6 days later, and we all wrote down our list of who we kind of wanted on our team and how we wanted it to look. And all 3 of us came with the exact same answer at number 1. So it was a clear pick for us to go with Mike. And, I'm excited just to try a new role. I'm always excited to play, the front end style as well. I've done that my whole life. As much as skipping, I've enjoyed for the last few years as well. So it should be fun.
Mike, what does that mean? You hear Colton right now. They all brought their lists. You were at the top of the list. That you've been so candid and raw with your sharing of wondering if you still have the magic, Mike, that we all know you for. And you hear Colton say you were the top of the list. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's if I rewound, even 3 months ago, I was in a different place, and I don't know, maybe I had to go that low to kind of find out that I still love the game and still want to play at a high level. I definitely lost that passion. Gone down a road where it just wasn't there for me, and being able to find that again the last through January, February, March, that really opened my eyes. And having Ryan step back, to pursue other things in the game. I honestly, this is, I feel like this is the journey I had to take, and this is the right place for me to be going. Three guys in their early 30s, I still remember what that's like. They got a ton of experience, a ton of, their lives are set up for this. They work hard. They're a great bunch of guys. And just to have that vote of confidence, having the three of them write down my name and, believing in me that I can help lead them to some of their goals. I gotta admit, I was nervous that, maybe I wasn't the guy for them, but, when I got that call, I could tell by my emotions that I wanted it. I really did. So I'm excited. This is, I'm joining a core group of guys in Saskatoon. This is a great fit. I think, I've discovered some of the challenges of being an import, and they're definitely with, all four of us being in different cities with our Ontario team was eye-opening. And this is the right place and the right time for me. So I'm excited to join Colton and the guys.
Is there anything you just took away from, maybe you were able to hear a little of what Kerri was talking about getting better at parking things, Colton, and also kind of how fast it is from the Scotties and then the Worlds. But you guys, when you're playing in a circuit, are kind of going all the time. Is there going to be a different approach for you guys at all? Will you look at, more mental training? You probably all throw the rock pretty perfectly. So what is that je ne sais quoi that you need to kind of take you to compete with the best?
Yeah, I hear you saying. I feel like we're gonna have to look at scheduling and really space it out properly. I find I've been on teams where we played way too much, and I haven't always found that very beneficial. I remember back in 2019 when I was with Kevin and the guys, we didn't play a ton, and we practiced a lot together. We had a great coach, and I'm just drawing off things that we did there that hopefully we can bring forward with Mike, and things that he's had success with as well, and just kind of mend all those ideas together and hopefully figure something out. It's gonna be interesting. We don't know the perfect answer yet, but I know Mike's coming down to Saskatoon this weekend, and we're gonna get together and have a little training camp at the Nutana and just get to know each other a little better and kind of try to start figuring out a lot of problems or a lot of issues that we're going to have moving forward and turn them into something good.
Yeah, I'd bring Dawn McEwen there and bring her in as your coach, and I think you'd be fine. Okay, I just think, I'm just going to say it right there. There are no female coaches behind the bench at the Briar. Okay, we need a little bit of feminine touch of a genius.
Listen, I'm so pumped about this, and I know the people in the Prairie Province will be running back to Saskatoon. This is such a great move, I think, for all of you and for the team, Mike. A lot of traveling for you,
and a lot of pressure now for you too, because Devon will be Saskatchewaning it.
It's a short flight, so I'm definitely committed to coming in and working with the guys, and yeah, like we had to announce today. I'm going there tomorrow, so there might have been some curious eyes seeing me join the guys on the ice this weekend. So I'm excited that I have that ability to jump on a plane and be there in an hour and a half. This is a good fit, and like Colton said, there'll be lots of things that we identify that we need to work on, but having Colton, Dan, and Kevin so close together in the same city, I can hop in. I feel like we can really mesh things in a short amount of time, and kind of accelerate our growth next fall. And, you know, we're going to do that right now this weekend while we still have ice. So I'm excited that, you know, these guys have that kind of mentality about it.
Awesome. But Colton, you're
Love it.
still going the mixed, right? I want to play you. So you're still going.
Oh.
Mike's not going to not let you go. You're going.
I haven't confirmed if I'm going yet. I told them if it conflicts with my schedule, I probably won't. But if I'm there, I can't wait to play you.
Oh, man. Mike, I want to play him. So get the right schedule.
I know you do. I don't
happen.
blame you. I don't blame
Make
you.
it happen.
Dawn's dragging me out to a mixed doubles tournament in a week and a half. So,
Ooh,
you know,
That's-
I'll evaluate her coaching abilities to see how we interact
Right.
on the ice together. I'm not sure I have fond memories of that from before, but we'll see how this goes.
Okay, awesome. Well, congrats on the team. We're looking forward to it.
Hey, real quick, Worlds start Saturday. Any quick
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on that, guys? What a field.
That was
Any
a
quick
event.
thoughts on that, Colton, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Mike.
Colton. No, I just I don't know. Quick thought. Played in that building. I'm not sure. There could be, depending on the weather, there could be some challenges with the ice. I remember that with the Briar in the building there. So that'll be interesting to play out. You know, it's just there's really kind of 4 front running teams for me. You know, you got Team Canada, Dean Sweden, Moet Scotland, and then Return has had a great year out of Italy. You know, it's and then there's a whole bunch of other good teams, but those 4 really stand out for me.
Yeah. Colton?
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Team Schwaller either.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are good
Oh,
too.
them.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
I would never
So-
count out John Schuster either.
I was going to
I
say
wouldn't
those
count
are
out any of them.
Olympic
I mean,
champions.
I remember the Worlds back in 19, and it is grueling. It's one of the hardest events you'll ever play, and I never really understood that until I was able to play it. So, I mean, Brad's been there so many times. He knows what to do, and I got the utmost confidence in those guys to come out and get us a medal. And I think they're definitely the front-running team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Love
It's,
it.
you know, Nick Adine, so many world championships
Yeah.
and the Olympic
It's
gold.
crazy.
And
It's
that
crazy.
Yeah, just if you look
Anyway.
if you look at the Players Championship on the men's side, half the teams are pretty much European. So that just shows the strength of the world. And like Colton was saying, just the gauntlet to run to win it.
emotionally
Listen,
exhausting.
I'm over the moon. Saskatchewan at 1980. I don't have to tell Colton this. Mike, 1980 is a long time ago. The drought ends in Regina. How fitting would that be?
I like that idea.
Oh, I forgot that. Where's that?
Yes, exactly. Get to work, gentlemen. No pressure.
Thanks, Devin.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Evan.
congrats.
Thanks, Colleen.
Yeah,
Awesome.
nice to
Thanks,
see you guys.
See
I
ya.
think that's an awesome team.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
Call, they just talked
Oh.
about it. Of course, I think Ottawa's going to be rocking. I think everybody's excited. Not since 2017 has a Canadian men's team won gold. That was Gushue
Yeah.
in Edmonton, a perfect record. I was there. It was outstanding. They were just really on a different stratosphere there, and they've been so good. So, you know, I think after last year in Vegas and how that all unfolded, I really think Brad and the boys want this more than ever, Call.
Yeah, no doubt they do. But then the problem is the other teams want it just as badly. So that's the darn it. Like
That part.
yeah, everybody wants this, and between Sweden and Scotland and Italy and Switzerland and USA, and then the other teams that will play spoilers, every team is so strong. It is an amazing field. So, but I mean, how great did Gushue look at the Briar, winning his 5th? Like, that's unprecedented, and they're just a terrific team. Nice to see the Harnden brothers reunited too, isn't it? Like,
what an awesome move. Like here's the thing, Call. They just don't seem to make any missteps, right?
no,
Like that.
it's just a brilliant move. Yeah, for the fans will love it. Everybody loves it, and it's you know, and yet so obvious too, but perfect. Glad to see that. But anyhow, we're looking forward to the Worlds because it's just going to be Rockham's talking about. I think did we already show Brad's schedule? He has a tough schedule, but these are the worlds. And as Colton just said, it doesn't. It's one team after another. But you start with Switzerland and you move to Italy, who's played so well this year, and they won a bronze last year. So then you might get a break with New Zealand, and then they're right back out against Norway. And hasn't Magnus Ramsfeld played so well this year as well? That's a team that's on the move and pretty fearless. So, yeah.
So that sets up the start of it. But we have a little bit of news, call, because I'm excited about the last half of it, the big games. Scotland on the Thursday night of championship weekend, and Sweden to close out the round robin on Friday night. And should we share the news?
Yeah, let's share the news. We're going. I thought maybe there's other news. We'll be there for championship weekend. So
we're taking the show on the road. Call and I will be in the nation's capital starting Friday for that big game against Sweden to close out the round robin. And then here's hoping there's a semifinal for Canada and a championship on Sunday night. We'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be great. Looking forward to it. And also, we've got some mixed doubles news. We enjoyed being live this year for many of those shows. And they've got and it was interesting when we had Jennifer and Brent on the other day. They talked about how much that mixed doubles tour helped their game. So it shows that for so many of the players who want to play mixed doubles, having this league is the tool they need to keep getting better. So
yeah, I mean, how much on the show, call, have we talked about a need to form some sort of tour to professionalize the mixed doubles super series? We saw it take hold this year. Top teams were there throughout all of it.
Yeah, they were committed.
They were committed. And I tweeted out during the national championship of the mixed doubles last Sunday, I asked curling fans, do you think this discipline has evolved the way you thought it might since it's become an Olympic event? And I think, at least from what I saw, there was a feeling that it's still lagging behind a little bit. And I think there are some people who just thought it would become a little more professionalized, that you would have more specialized mixed doubles team, and that in some ways it wouldn't be an afterthought for the 4-person game.
Right. I mean, that it wasn't on national television is just a pity. It has to be on national television. This is an Olympic event. It's as important as the 4-person game on both sides. The winner, Jen and Brent, got $40,000. The runner-up, Gallant and Peterman, get $20,000. That's a big, huge purse. People want to see those kind of games. So how it's not, maybe not the entire round robin, because it's a very complicated round robin, I think. But once you get to playoffs, there's no reason why that shouldn't and should be on national television.
So a lot of news happening on a lot of news on that curling show tonight, and we have more news about the mixed doubles super series, and the thought leader, the man who made it all happen, is joining us right now, Jay Allen, and he's here to tell us some exciting news as we look forward to next season. Jay, wonderful to see you again on a show from the pool and wherever we've got to do it. But you heard the conversation just now about the mixed double super series, how important it is, how much the players appreciate it. Tell us the news about what we can look forward to next season.
Well, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm 50% of the thought process anyway.
Right.
We wanted to make an announcement that the Super Series is back for season 2. The curlers are certainly very enthusiastic about this. We've decided that 5 events wasn't enough last year, so we're actually going to move it to 7 events this year. So we're going to move it from one side of the country to the other side of the country, include both the West Coast and the East Coast as well. So we're looking forward to that challenge, but a lot of the clubs have been certainly open and more than willing to take this on to have the world's best curlers join them in their local curling clubs. So we're looking forward to that.
Why the
Look
need
at that
to do it
schedule.
more, by the way? I like saying Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's awesome.
Oh, you saw that?
I
Yeah,
saw that right away. And Sherwood Park, I think that's Heather Netowin's club too.
it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Why expand it? What was the thought process behind adding to it?
Well, I think really, we wanted to make sure that it was inclusive for the entire country first and foremost. We knew that there was some dates that were going to be available, and more is better. One of the requests that we did get was from the European teams that if we could do some back-to-back weekends, that would be very accommodating to the European teams that can come over, play 2 events, and then head back home if necessary. The only way we could do that is by adding 2 more events. So that was the thought process behind that.
Great. And they're powerhouses. So nice that you accommodate that. What were the learning curves, from this year that you're able to kind of take and improve the product?
I think improving the product, now that we actually have a product, it's gone beyond the proof of concept scenario, but sponsorship is very difficult to come by right now. And I think a lot of that has to do with what we've just come out of. So finding sponsorship, people that want to be involved with an event like this. The curlers don't want this to go anywhere. Wayne and I don't want this to go anywhere. So as long as we can find some sponsors to help us along the way, that makes life a lot easier for us, for sure.
Outstanding. Can we bring up the calendar again? And Jay, maybe we can just walk through it a little bit. I know
Sure.
It was in the first half of the season last year, but of course you've extended it into January and February. Can you talk about that? And what do you have to do to find the pieces of the puzzle to fit this all in the already packed schedule?
Yeah, great question. One of the things that we wanted to make sure is we weren't conflicting with anything to do with the Grand Slams. We know that there's only so many weekends in a season. We also worked closely with the CCA to make sure that we didn't infringe on any of their weekends. It's not a perfect schedule, but I don't think it's ever going to be perfect. When we looked at adding the dates and times that we did, there's a lot of balls in the air when it comes to this. We have to make sure that the clubs can accommodate it as well. So those are all factors going into deciding where and when these events are going to be.
Love it. Well, it begins October 5th, Sherwood Park, Alberta, and then finishes in Halifax before the championship in
well, and I see we get a New Year's Eve party, as you see the
right
picture on the bottom. In Oakville. So
that's right. Well, one of the other things that you said that we were able to elongate it this year, we found we jammed it in too much last year, and we were trying to do too much for too many people, and it wasn't possible. We were asked to see if we could finish it before Christmas. We didn't want to do that. At some point, we talked to a couple of the high-end curlers, and they said, Jay, this is 10 weekends in a row for us. Well, that's not easy, for any curler, no matter if that's what they just do for a living or not. So elongating the season made it easier for us to accommodate people to be able to play both disciplines with the 4-person and 2-person. So we think we've done a pretty good job with that.
You have. That's great.
Awesome.
And I love what you said about trying to bring it coast to coast, because
you
see it in Halifax since Devin was just fanboying about the new Saskatchewan team. I'll just fanboy about an event in Halifax, whether it's this mixed event or the Stu Cells that comes here. It just adds so much value to curling in the area. So that's awesome.
Well, I could tell you this, Colleen, I'm looking forward to the East Coast hospitality out there already. So
lobster.
Yeah, that's right.
Hope the price comes down. Nice to see you.
Same.
Awesome, Jay.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, congratulations. This is so exciting, and we're behind it 100%, and we can't wait to be in those rinks for more mixed doubles Super Series curling.
Great to hear. We look forward to seeing you guys.
Awesome.
And of course, Wayne Tuck, the other 50% of the Brain Trust there. Well, Kim probably is the 50% of the Brain Trust. You were leaning up against the pool. Are you getting hot there, Devin?
Listen, after this, I have to go back to swimming coverage. Why don't I walk you over to the main pool? Why don't we just do it live right now?
Why don't you?
As we close out the show, because tomorrow night here, the trials continue. Summer Macintosh, we call it the Summer Macintosh Watch, and there are the inflatable unicorns call right there.
Wow. I dare you.
If Summer Macintosh breaks a world record, I'm doing my post-race report on a unicorn.
Okay, awesome. Does that have to be another world record or just any
World record. World record.
Okay, all right.
But
I can't wait to see that.
So this is the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center, of course, a legacy of the 2015 Pan Am Games, and it is really helped swimming in this country, Call. It's the golden generation of swimming. And
Whatever swimming is doing so right, we all need to bottle that, because I mean they have a strong club program across the country in swimming, which probably helps. But boy, they are doing some amazing stuff in swimming right now.
Yeah. From the pool to the pebble sheet, Call, we have sports fans covered, no doubt. This was fun. Some big news on the show tonight.
Yeah, I love it. And it was great having Kerri on, and nice to see what Mike McEwen's up to, being Saskatchewan and all that sort of stuff in the mixed ups. So next time we'll see you, it'll be in Ottawa.
I can't wait.
Awesome.
Buckle up.
Great. So that's a wrap for us. Take a swim.
I'm jumping in the pool. I actually might.
Do it. We'll see you next week.
Take care, curling fans.
Thanks, producer Soph.
Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
1963, when they took the Briar to Brandon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Don Whitman with Don Duguid, two-time world champion.
Reveille will take the game. Not a question about it. Right on the nose. It never wavers.
A little bit of curling history for you.
High drama, high intensity.